Cheers, vinyl community. John back again, and I'm gonna do a video with less talking, more music, and we're just doing heavy metal. And this is off of Scott Waters' great video of 1980s EPs, great heavy metal EPs, and Andy Cloudy Milder did a great one, and they mentioned a lot of my favorites. And I think I might have one duplicate. And I just kind of pulled a bunch, and they're out of order, but we're just going to do heavy metal. And I'm going to start with this EP, is Metal Bats by Vortex. And this is, was it a Dutch band? Holland. And this is probably 83. And they put out an LP after this one. Was it Open the Gate? Vortex, I think it's Open the Gate. But Open the Gate, and it's great. This is a good early metal record, and it's got lyrics and pictures. But a real interesting singer. He's got makeup and fangs, and a lot of people know the Open the Gate, but this EP's you don't see too often, and I don't even know what label it's on. I'll try to move fast. Who knows what label? Screen? I don't know what label it's on. But there's the singer again. Crazy band. But Warfare doing Two Tribes, the Frankie Goes to Hollywood version, metal noise mix, and it's got Hell and Blown to Bits on the other side. And this is probably Neat Records. Yeah, this is Neat Records, nothing inside. One of my favorite EPs I bought as a kid is Wasp Animal, and as original, I had this when it came out. And what's on the B side is Show No Mercy. So it's actually just a 12-inch single, but I probably pulled out a couple of 12-inch singles. This is the White Pigs on the Combat Boot Camp, and I think they did 3 or 4 of these. And it's nothing great. It's kind of noisy, thrashy, heavy metal. But they do a cover of the Monsters theme, which I always loved. I mean, it's not the greatest, but I loved it as a kid, and I still love it now. I'll pull it out just to hear the theme to the TV show The Monsters. But pretty cool. I think they were New York or New Jersey, and this is 86. You guys showed the Arm and Dangerous. That's a really good Anthrax release, but I can't say, I mean, I don't know how I like this now. I mean, this is probably the beginning of the end of Anthrax, but I gotta say I'm the Man was a pretty important release for me when I was a kid. Like, everyone got a kick out of that song, and it's got I'm the Man censored, uncensored, a great cover of Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, then I'm the Man live, Caught in the Mosh live, I Am the Law live. And this still was an important EP growing up. This is a great budgie record. It's when they were kind of a slight comeback with the new wave of British heavy metal, and this is 1980, so it just made it in. If swallow, do not induce vomiting. But Wildfire, High School Girls, and Panzer Division Destroyed is absolute great metal tune, and one of my favorite tunes, Liza Jim the E-Type Lover, almost like a pub rocky kind of sound, real catchy chorus. But wonderful EP if you ever see this. This is Active Records. One of the most important EPs, I think we just overlooked it because it's so obvious, but Jailbreak 74, which has got Baby Please Don't Go. And the first time I heard Jailbreak, I realized it was earlier tune in Australia, but this is 1984, but all these tracks are from 75 and 76, and that would be on Atlantic. I don't know if there's anything in there. Oh yeah, we got lyrics and Bon and Angus. I didn't want to show any rare, like, new wave of British heavy metal stuff, but I guess I pulled this out. No Fun After Midnight, A to Z's greatest tune. Backed with Treason and Valhalla Force, and it's probably like 1981 on Polydor. And it's actually a rare colored vinyl from the early 80s metal scene. I pulled this. Scott already showed it, but geez, man, what like he said, check out his video. But like the Udo and what's it? Not Mark. Jesus. But the Raven singer there is escaping me. Gallagher there, but they're both doing Born to Be Wild, going nuts, and Break the Chains, the A side, Inquisitor's the other B side. This is the only reissue I'm showing, but I do not have an original, and I wanted this since it came out when I was a kid. But the Slayer's Prepare to Die EP, and this is a reissue on High Roller, and I want to say this was 1983. Fantastic Texas metal, great singer, and it's got four tracks and an intro, so it says 5, but it's really just 4 tracks. Unbelievable heavy metal classic. Agent Steel, Mad Locust Rising. They cover Judas Priest, The Ripper, and with the original singer John Cyrus there. And Mad Locust Rising was a classic, and the Let It Be Done, The Day at Guyana, the Jonestown thing. This is more of a single, but you don't see it shown, so I got trouble doing Assassin, but the important thing is covering Cream, Tale of Brave Ulysses, and that's a killer Cream tune to cover, and it's just perfect for them. And this is probably Metal Blade, 1984. This is great, just to pull out for the Cream number. And one of the most important EPs, Queensryche's first EP, and really, I know I would start fights by saying this, but you could probably much begin and end Queensryche's career with this record. They never got better than this. And this is on EMI, and there's nothing in here. One of my favorites is Overkill, the FU EP. And it's got Rotten to the Core, Hammerhead, Use Your Head, and Electro-Violence. But FU is actually the DOA cover, and I didn't know that when I first got this in '87. And I don't believe anywhere on this record they even mention that it's a cover, in songwriting credits or anything. It's got a sales sheet. So it's kind of a bad taste to cover a song and make it the title of the album, of the EP, and not give credit to the original songwriters, Joey Shithead and them. Probably one of my holy grails from when I was a kid. You know, even when I was a kid, this was a rare record to get, and, you know, luckily I got it. But the first Merciful Fate EP, Corpse Without Soul, Nuns Have No Fun, Devil Eyes, and Doomed by the Living Dead, and early Merciful Fate, and it's on Rave On Records, excuse me, and 1982, printed in Holland, and original lyric sheet, and this is, I don't really pull it out, I forgot about this, but this was so important when I was a kid. I mean, just like this was the craziest cover, being in like, I don't know, like 9th to 10th grade. It was just nuts. One of the first indie metal records I bought was Lizzie Borden, Give Him the Axe, and this is still my favorite Lizzie Borden. Just, I know they got better after this, but nostalgia reasons, but Give Him an Axe, and they cover Long Live Rock and Roll. It's got Kiss of Death, No Time to Lose, and this is Metal Blade 84. I don't know, this isn't one of my favorites, but the first Leatherwolf EP here, it's pretty good metal, California metal. And this is on, who knows, Tropical Records, marketed by Enigma. And we got the photos and the lyrics on the back. Another important EP will be the Creator Flag of Hate, and this is probably, what, 86? And this is the American one. It's got a sticker, because I think this is Combat Noise. I think the regular Noise one had different songs, or less songs. But it was cool. I remember it cool with the whole, like, seeing a metal guy with a DRI shirt. And this is some of the, you know, brutal stuff with Voivod, like some of the early brutal stuff I've heard. This was it's only got one unreleased track, I think, The Lake. But I remember getting this when it came out. Just the cover looked magnificent. I think it was only on picture disc. Halloween, The Candle, King Diamond, and I just being mesmerized by the artwork, the photography, and just the whole packaging. I felt like I had a precious record. Another early record from when I was a kid was the Impaler, Rise of the Mutants. It's got the song Shock Rock. I mean, not great stuff, but, you know, for early metal. And they were from Minneapolis, if I remember. And then they put out If We Had Brains, We'd Be Serious, where they cover Search and Destroy, the second record, the first full-length record. But they always looked a little over the top. But that was a cool record. This is a little rarer one, Gotham City, I think from Sweden. What's it, Black Ritz? I think it's Black Ritz. I can't read it. But, you know, little, like, very British sounding. But it's early Swedish. I'm pretty sure it's Swedish. Yeah, they look. Yeah, all these names are Swedish, as far as I could tell. But no insert, and I don't even know what label this is on. Brute Force Records. But it's that's a cool piece to have. This is the Girls' School 20th Century Boy. I love this because it's just like a great cover of T-Rex, one of my favorite T-Rex songs, 20th Century Boy. You can't do that song wrong, and it's great. It's got Breaking All the Rules and Like It Like That. And it was produced by Jim Lee and Noddy Holder of Slade, so it's pretty cool. And then I can't say this is good, but I pulled it out just to show it. But it was Freely's Comet Live +1. I think he does Rip It Out and Rocket Ride from Kiss. And it is a studio song, Words Are Not Enough. I don't remember. Recorded live in Chicago, 87. But worth mentioning, you know, I remember this was an EP, and it was, people bought it. One of my favorite EPs, The Mad Butcher by Destruction, because this song, Mad Butcher is such a great tune, and the cover, I could look at this cover for hours. It's just so good. And this, some of the best German metal. German, you know, late 80s metal. And this is probably, what, 86 on Steam Hammer. And there's nothing there, just the Steam Hammer logo. But killer record. And another great EP is Celtic Frost, Emperor's Return. And this is Beyond Metal Blade. And it's got, you know, Dethroned Emperor, Morbid Tales, Circle the Tyrants, great. And this is some good stuff. And of course, maybe the most, maybe even one of the first EPs I ever bought would be Made in Japan. And that's about as good as it gets. These guys, they look the coolest. I thought they were the coolest, and you know, you felt like you were getting something. I think this was an import even. Like, you felt like you were getting something from far away, like being a kid. It's one thing buying, like, Peace of Mind on an LP with the EMI Capital thing, but to get this was just like getting something from another continent. But those are my EPs, and I gotta say, Scott mentioned TT Quick and obviously Creepin' Death EP and Slayer, the two Slayer EPs that were a very important part of my life. But cheers, we made it under 15 minutes, and we're back to metal. So that's about it. See you later.